Okay, good morning YouTube. What is going on? It's 5:48 a.m. and I'm just out here walking around Bottom Boat, but we've got a special guest with me today. Look who we got here. Leah. Oh, the boy. Hey mate, you wanna come off? Come here. Go on boy, let's go. Yes, loves it. Yeah, looking after the boy Leo for a week, my mate. Got on holiday, so we got the joy of looking after this guy for a week. If you follow me on Instagram or YouTube, you will know that this year I've been working on getting dick skin shredded. I've been cutting for quite a while. I'm like 33 pounds or 15 kg down so far. But shit is just getting real, because we have just locked in a date for the photo shoot, which is the end goal of the cut. Get some pictures of me shredded. And I have just also signed up with a coach. So in this video, I'm just going to run you through all of my decision making around that, why I've gone to get a coach, where I am in terms of photo shoot prep, and you'll probably get some good dog footage as well. Bro just pisses on everything, man. Swear down, when you take this guy for a walk, he probably takes, I'm not even kidding, between 20 and 30 pisses in like a 20-minute walk. He is not pissing around, this guy. Wait. Hey. Good boy. Come on. But yeah, so some people question why a coach would need a coach. Like, if you're a coach, why do you need someone to help you with your training and nutrition? Which is ridiculous in the first place anyway. Do you think, like, some of the best athletes in the world don't use coaches? All of the bodybuilders, all the Olympians, they all use coaches. Cristiano Ronaldo has had many coaches in his lifetime. So just because you are already established in something, able to do something, knowledgeable in an area, that does not mean that you would not benefit from having a coach, because everyone has a lot to learn. I definitely have a lot still to learn. So that is one of the reasons why I'm getting a coach. I mean, some people question why you would pay someone the amount of money that you pay for a coach and you don't even get a one-to-one person PT session. People ask me that all the time at work. They were like, they have no concept of like how online coaching works, or why you would pay someone to not even see them in person. But the goals of someone who needs a one-to-one PT is a bit different generally to people who see value in online coaching, like myself. Like, I don't need someone holding my hand in the gym. What I do need someone, or what I want help with in terms of an online coach, is someone to help me make decisions, someone to guide me in, someone to learn from, someone who's done this shit before and is experienced in guiding people towards getting into photo shoot condition. They are some of the reasons as to why I've made this decision to get a coach. So yeah, being 33 pounds down, 15 kg down so far this year already, I don't really have any doubt that I would be able to get into photo shoot shape myself, because I already have a lot of the tools and habits and skills that are able or available to me to be able to drop weight. But when you start to get leaner, when you start to get into the thick of it, when you lose a considerable amount of weight like that, sometimes it becomes harder to make, I think, logical decisions around stuff. Like, you become a bit more like emotional, or not really certain in your own decision making. Now, I'm not saying everyone does this, but this is something that I've experienced myself. And when I got pretty shredded before in 2024, I definitely experienced it more as well, because I had less experience doing this kind of thing. Where, yeah, like I said, you sometimes start to act out of emotion. I'll give an example. The other day, before I'd signed up with Jake, I'd been running a good few low days. I'd probably hit 10 or 11 low days in a row, and I was really starting to feel the effects of some diet fatigue. So I ran 2 high days over the weekend at maintenance, just 2 higher carb days. Now, I mean, that sounds to me like a pretty logical thing to do, but also at the time, you're not sure if that is the right decision. You question yourself. You think, am I just being a pussy? Do I even need them high days? Or you even think about it the other way around and just think, maybe I shouldn't be pushing down so hard. Maybe I should be giving myself more high days. And again, it's very easy to just get in your own head about these kind of things. So when you offload them kind of decisions, when you get in an outside perspective on what is going on with you, when you give, if someone has that data available that you've collected for them, then they can come at it with a fresh perspective about what's going on and make decisions for you from a more logical viewpoint, if that makes sense. So that was just something that I felt I would benefit from a lot in this cut, just taking some of that pressure off. I've been mad busy at work recently. I've been working a lot of long hours. I've been running my business as well. I've been trying to keep present on social media, keep present at home with missus, and there's a lot going on for me right now. So again, in periods of higher stress or having a lot of shit going on, again, does your decision making become clouded? I think possibly. So that is why, it's one of the main reasons as to why I've decided to get some help with that. Another thing is accountability. Now, before I was a coach, or when I was in my early days of being a coach, I always felt like accountability was just a bit of a buzzword, almost like a bit of a salesy word that coaches would use as a means of like selling their service. But the more and more I coach, the more I realize that it is the most important thing that a coach does for you, and is actually the thing that I think gets people the result. And it's something that I have been lacking in myself. So as I said, I've dropped a good amount of weight so far this year. However, the time frame in which I dropped that weight was relatively not that good. Like, if you do the maths of how much I dropped over how long it took, it's not exactly a quick rate of loss. And again, for a coach who knows the mathematics behind fat loss, all the equations and stuff, I know that I could have done that better. And the thing that prevented me from doing that better was having no one to be accountable to. I was the only person that was holding me accountable on any of this stuff was myself. And sometimes you just don't really owe any accountability to yourself. When you have someone else who is holding you accountable to your actions, they are making sure you're doing the shit that you need to do and making sure you're not going off track. That is what keeps you on track. Now, over this year, I've had multiple occasions where, because I had no one to keep me accountable to what I'm trying to do, I just did whatever the fuck I want. When I went camping, just ate whatever the fuck I wanted. I've had multiple days where, just gone for a meal out and just got starter, main, dessert, gone out for beers. And these are all things that have just slowed progress down, because I just did whatever I wanted, because I had nothing to hold me accountable. I had no time frame to hold me accountable. I had no one else to hold me accountable to it. It was just me that was just doing this cut, and we was just kind of, we knew we were moving in the right direction of losing weight, but there was no real structure to it. There was no real thing that was making it happen. But now there is. So we have locked the date in for the photo shoot. It is going to be November 28th. It's a group shoot that Jake and his coaching team are doing, and I can't wait for it, to be honest. We looked at a longer time frame. Now I am in the current condition I'm in. I'm really not too far away from photo shoot condition. I could be ready, I don't know, in 6 to 8 weeks if I really needed to, but that sounds like a push. Now the shoot is 17 weeks away still, and I, in this current phase, have already been dieting for 16 weeks, so that is a hell of a long time to be dieting. But having a longer time frame with which to diet is preferable, because it means that you don't have to push down so assertively. It means that you can account for things that may go wrong, like illness or anything like that. It means you can take time to break, which is a big one, because when you've been dieting for a long time, the fatigue of being in a deficit just seems to rack up. So if you can take time away from doing that, it gives you a physical and psychological break from just fucking pushing your food down all the time, because at the end of the day, no one really likes dieting. No one likes eating less food than their body wants. So if you can factor in time to take breaks, and that makes life a whole lot better. So we got 16 or 17 weeks out since the shoot, and in that time it will be my birthday in 3 weeks ish, and also I've got a trip where we're going camping in Cornwall. So they will act as a bit of a diet break for me, where we can spend some time freshening up, spend some time away from pushing food low, spend some time eating some good food with friends and family, and then that should set me up into the best position possible to be able to push down for the final leg before the shoot. I weighed in at 192 pounds this morning, and the kind of goal weight that Jake has set out for me is going to be around 183. So on that time frame of 17 weeks, that's not much needed to lose, to be honest. So that would equate to, like, if it was digging the whole time, that would be just about half a pound a week loss, which is a relatively small deficit. But because we have the intention to take some time out, where I go camping, where I take a bit of a break, ideally be ready a couple of weeks out as well, just so we can feed back up into the shoot and bring a fuller look. That's not too much of a tall order to be achieving. Leo, here, come on your lead. Here, boy. Oh, big yawn. Good boy. He loves it. Fucking loves the morning walk, this guy. Look at him, majestic. He's been an extremely good boy since we've been looking after him. Whoa. Big scratch. Oh, yeah, look at the balls. So yeah, decision making and accountability are the two main things that I wanted help with in terms of like the physique side of it. But a big part of this as well is to learn from the business side of it and to develop myself professionally. Now, as a coach, I of course understand the value in coaching, but something that I've never done before is actually had a coach for myself. So part of this is I wanted to learn firsthand what it's like to be the client and learn from someone who has the results that I want, in the same way that someone would employ a coach because they have the results that they want, they have the physique they want, and they display the traits and habits that they want to display to get them the physique they want. I have picked a coach that has worked with hundreds of people, got a bunch of people into photo shoot condition, and has values that align with mine. So that is something that I am also very excited to learn from. In the fitness coaching space, there's a bunch of business mentors on the internet that are specialists in helping people or helping coaches to make more money. But what a very small amount of them business mentors do is focus on helping people actually be a better coach. They always just look at stuff as how can I help these coaches increase their revenue, rather than how can we help them deliver a better service, be a better coach, because ultimately that is the thing that is going to make someone a better coach, is focusing on being on a better coach, not how can I get more sales, how can I make more money. At this point, I think the best investment that I can make is not in trying to grow my business, is in trying to grow my skill set as a coach. And I fundamentally think that comes down to going through the process myself and being the client and having to act as a client. Now, with having to act as a client, it is something that is new to me. And because I'm a coach, you have what I've experienced in the first couple of weeks is certain things where I have to like almost switch my coaching brain off and turn it into the client brain. Like certain decisions or things that have been put in within the plan are maybe not things that I would program for myself. They're not things that I have been doing, but I am trying to bite into this process as much as I can. And basically I have to be telling myself to suck it up and do what is on the plan. If the coach has tons of experience getting people results, it's very likely that the plans or the guidelines that he is setting out are also going to get me results. And just because I'm a coach, that doesn't mean that what I know is better. It's that what my approach to it is just different. So I'm trying to buy into that process as much as I can. An example of it was the other day, like something that I had been running for this whole cut was quite a wide calorie range. Now I work within a calorie range. I'll tell you what it is. It was 1800 to 2300, which is a 500 calorie range that I would work in. But one of the first things that Jake set up on the plan for me was he wasn't keen on that wide range. He would like to see me landing my calories more consistently in a tighter range of 2200 to 2400. Now obviously the bump in food is nice, but I was at work the other day and I had a long day at work and I hardly ate all day, and then I got home and I'd only been on like 1100 calories. So it was like 6 o'clock. I go to bed at like 8, half 8, and I had like 1100 calories to play with. Now if this was me before, I would have just pushed the calories low and just ate on the bottom end of that assigned range that I had. I would have ate like 1800 to 1900. But his approach is different, and the guidelines that he set out, the plan that he had set out for me was you need to eat within this 2200, 2400 range consistently. So that's what I did. I mean, I weren't complaining. I got home and I was able to eat a bunch of food after being at work and training legs. But there is just one example of how my approach to what I'm doing is different to what other coaches would set out for me, and that there is no correct way to achieve this result. If you are investing in a coach and buying into the process, you got to do what's on the plan, man. And another thing that is new to me on the training side of it is having someone take control of my programming. The reason I got into coaching, the reason I got into wanting to help people get jacked, help people get lean, is because I love training myself. So if I can teach people how to do that, there is no better job to me in the world. And what comes with that is I love programming for myself. I've always programmed for myself, and I've always followed my own intuition with the exercise that I do. But obviously, starting a new plan, I've been prescribed a new program. Some of it is different to what I would do. So letting go of my own control over my training is also something that I've been battling with a little bit over the first week in this initial phase. But again, we got to buy into the process. We got to do what's on the plan. We got to do what my coach thinks is best to get me the result, which I trust in very much. And then to finish, I'll just run you through what this starting point has actually looked like. So the first week with Jake was an assessment week, and this is something that I do with my clients as well, is over that first week, we just need to get a picture of what is going on at the moment. So I sent him a setup video of everything that I've been running at the moment, got him a food diary, tracked all my calories, water, basically everything that I was doing, and sent it over to him so that he can assess it and outline a plan for what he thinks is best for me going forward. Obviously, to get this far with fat loss already this year, a lot of the stuff that I was doing, a lot of the habits that I'd implemented, a lot of the food that I've been eating was already in a good position, which Jake notified and was aware of. So there wasn't too much to change in terms of nutrition, but there was definitely things that needed tightening up. One thing, and if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I am a big fan of drinking lots of caffeine, drinking Monsters. And that was something that we together really outlined as an area of improvement. So one of the initial goals that has been set for me is basically to chill on the caffeine, chill on the Monsters, because I was doing like one a day, sometimes two a day, alongside a couple of coffees as well. And basically, if there is already such a heavy reliance on caffeine this early on into the prep, there is no lever to pull later on when I get leaner, when I want to use that caffeine as an appetite suppressant and as an ergogenic. So one of the initial goals was to chill out on that. He did set me a goal of just 2 coffees and a Monster every day, which to be honest still seems pretty excessive. So the last couple of days I haven't had any Monsters, it's just been 2 coffees, and to be honest I feel exactly the same. Something else as well that I noted was I've actually drink a ton of water. Hydrating is something that I thought was one of the things that I could improve on, but upon tracking it, which I haven't really done before, I noticed I actually drink a ton of water, and probably too much. The other day when I was at work, I drank like 9 litres of water, which seems ridiculous to be honest. And again, coming into peak week, we would want to manipulate that and like increase that water intake, which is pretty unlikely to be sustainable. Like drinking anywhere above 10, 11 litres of water is a ton of water, and again there are risks of overhydration. So that is again something that I've had to pull back on. But everything else that he set me, I'm super happy with. Obviously he took into account what my training was at the moment. I've been running an upper lower split for the last forever, like 2 years at least. So he programmed in alignment with that, and it was very similar to what I was running at the moment anyway. Just a few different things in there, a few more more intensifiers, something that I don't really do. I normally just do straight sets, but he threw in a bunch of drop sets, supersets, a DY set on calves, which is a bitch. And then nutrition wise, he actually gave me a bump in food, which was very welcomed from what I was doing. We're up to 2,200 to 2,400, which is still a good deficit for me, and it's a good amount of food to be eating at this kind of phase and losing weight off. Hey mate, look, he's just chilling there. I just gave him his dinner. He wanted to get in the shot. Yes, the boy. But yeah, I'm on a good amount of food still. I'm eating 5 meals a day. Protein target is exactly where it was at. Carbs and fats basically the same too. Said it did look as though my fiber was under, but that was a MyFitnessPal database inaccuracy, and I have now rectified that by tracking the oats that I've been eating a bit differently. Go watch my last video, a full day of eating. You'll see how many oats I eat. So the fiber that was going missing on there was making a big difference to my total fiber intake. But yeah, let me just pull up my coaching log if there's anything else. And again, it is cool for me to get on top of this stuff, because never being the client before, there's some stuff on here that I've not really looked at, like tracking, like energy, hunger, IBS, symptoms, quality of sleep, duration of sleep. This is never stuff that I've really tracked. So it's good to get that data down to see exactly where I'm at, and obviously give Jake a better picture of where I'm at. But yeah, calories are good. Cardio's 1 hour a week, already boxed that off. 13k step count, which is pretty achievable for me, especially when we got Leo. We've been going for a ton of walks. So yeah, we're in a good position. I am feeling a bit of the effects of dieting for a long time at the moment. We're definitely dealing with some diet fatigue, but I am getting to a point where I'm pretty lean. We got a break to take sometime soon. So we're laughing. I'm feeling very positive about this first week with the coach. Feel like I made some progress. Feeling super lean, to be honest. I'm probably not far off the condition now that I was when I got super lean in 2024. So we are definitely bringing a better package this time. But yeah, that is kind of it from me. If you are interested in coaching from me, as I have already described all the benefits that you get from a coach,
let me know. I'm going to put the link in the description below to reach out on WhatsApp. We can have a chat about coaching. If you need someone to hold you accountable to what it is that you want you to do, if you want to offload the decision making, if you want that second opinion or bird's eye view of what is going on, even if you think you know what you're doing, you can very much know what you're doing and still benefit a lot from the opinion and help of someone else, as I've described. So yeah, let me know if you want to reach out for coaching. I've got a bunch of spaces available at the moment. But yeah, we are ready to cook this year. We are ready to get dick skin shredded. See you in the next one.